What's up, and welcome to Unspoken Conversations. I'm James Crow, and here we talk about issues and situations that are in plain sight. Things that people hate to talk about, but it needs to be said, from relationships, families, friends, and life. Our goal is to shed light and understanding so that just maybe we can start to rebuild relationships, families, and ultimately, our communities. What's up, guys, and welcome back. In this episode, I want to talk about an episode on Brian's podcast. It's called the Whatever Podcast, and it's going to be on episode number 162. So if you get a chance, check it out. Brian it's the Whatever Podcast. I don't know if it's whatever or the whatever, but Whatever Podcast. Get a chance, check it out. It's number 162. Listen to what these women are saying on here. But I'm gonna let it play so you can hear just a few of these women speak on here, and then I'm kind of giving my little take on it. So let's see what happens.
Single, longest relationship was like 9 years. I was married.
Wait, you were married?
I was, yes.
That was the 9-year one, I'm assuming was the marriage.
Yeah.
From what age to what age were you
So I
married?
met when I was 13, met when I was really young. We split up last year.
Wait.
Keep in mind, she met when they was really young. They were young when they met, so she was married. She said she was married just a few years. Keep that in mind.
So, okay, you were married for 9 years, so from...
No, so I wasn't married for 9 years. I got married when I was 20.
Okay, so you were together with him for 9 years,
Yes.
but you were married for 5?
About 4, yeah, just under 4 years.
4. So you guys met when you were 13?
Yes.
Damn, okay. And so you've been single for how long again? Just 1 year, one and a half?
Yeah.
When did you start doing the adult entertainment stuff?
About a year ago.
Right after the divorce?
Well, I just started when we were still together.
Oh, you started
It was
while you were
him that
together.
encouraged me to get into it in the first place.
Okay, he was...
So, did you notice? She said she started the OF, right, when they were still together. And I don't know if I stopped it right before, but he kind of coached her into, I ain't going to say coached her, he kind of nudged her to start doing it. You get what I'm saying? So when she started doing it, then there was a change in him and her. Watch this. Pay attention to this. Because I've done an episode on this talking about, if you're offered a threesome or if you're asked for a threesome, deny, always say no. There's a reason why you say no, because it changes the dynamic of the relationship. When you start incorporating other things in there, there's the line. There's a line that you can cross and it changes things. You do not want to cross that line. There's a lot of things that you can do, but you can cross a certain line and it changes shit. And she hit that limit. She hit that limit. Pay attention.
You getting into this kind of part of the breakdown of the relationship?
No, completely separate.
Totally separate. Okay.
Yeah.
Who ended the relationship?
Me, but it was sort of like, because we'd been together so long, we just stopped making the effort. Like the whole dating phase, that had completely phased out, and we just both got a bit lazy, I guess, in the relationship.
We had similar.
So, you notice she said they both got a little bit lazy, right? I will be willing to bet that the reason that it got lazy is because she's used to doing all these different things. It's not that their relationship got lazy. It's not that their shit got lazy. I guarantee that it had a lot to do with she was doing all this over here, not enough over here to keep up with all this that's going on over here. I would be willing to bet that that's what it is. It's like I tell a lot of women, if you are single and you're just using toys, just every day, toys, 2, 3, 4, 5 times a day, just toys. When you finally get in a relationship, this dude is not going to be able to, he's not going to be able to keep up with them toys. You're going to have to wing yourself off them toys in order to reset your body so dude can keep up with what you've been doing. He can't do what these toys is doing. They're running on batteries or nothing at all. There is no stopping. You get what I'm saying? Dude is going to have to stop. There's no way he's going to be able to keep up. So I've mentioned that to women before. So now you got this situation where she's doing these OF and she's just, I don't know if it's multiple guys. I don't know if it's different guys. I don't know what's going on, but I'm pretty sure that their shit is a little bit bored now because she's got all this other stuff going on. How is he ever going to be able to keep up, right? Pay attention to this.
Their age?
Yeah, he was just a year older.
Okay.
Okay. And so while you've only been doing like the adult content, you said for a year and a half?
Yes, you want just under a year.
Under a year.
Yes.
Have you been trying to like actually date at all? Like in terms of a romantic
I did. I
thing?
started dating back in January for a few months, but that's finished now, clearly.
Yeah. Okay. Have you found it hard to date?
Yeah, because I
Because of the
I didn't have any friends in the industry. Like, I didn't really know much about like OnlyFans or like the whole adult entertaining. So it's not like I had people to relate to or people to like speak with to see how they found dating. And I didn't realize the amount of judgment, I guess, that comes with OnlyFans.
Okay.
So dating's
Sure.
not gonna, I guess, be easy.
So, yes, of course, there's extremely a lot of judgment that comes with OnlyFans and all this other stuff. Even stripping, there's a lot of judgment that comes with it, and people don't realize it because from the outside looking in, these women are starting this stuff brand new. They don't know what's going on. They don't know what it's like to be the woman that's already in the industry, getting looked at, getting frowned upon from the people outside the industry. They don't know what it's like. It looks good. What they say? All that glitters ain't gold. So now she's in the industry. She doesn't realize the scrutiny and all that comes with it. And now she's having to deal with it. And she's going to give up her relationship, her marriage at that. So, man, willing to throw it all away. I did a video about that too. Willing to throw it all away. But even if her throwing it all away wasn't about the OnlyFans, wasn't about the money, wasn't about, him and her, it was just, she was just bored. Even if that's the case, you think she'll ever regret it? Think she'll ever regret it?
Okay.
What about you?
Well, I'm currently single.
Currently single, okay.
And I can't really relate just because I don't think I've ever had a serious relationship
Okay.
before. Just a lot of talking stages and
Oh, you said a lot of talking stages?
yeah.
How many talking stages are we?
I mean, I also consider talking stage just like maybe a week, but I also drop
Yeah.
people very quickly.
You drop them quickly.
So I don't know.
Well, what's the longest? Maybe you haven't. Like, would you say you've never had like a titled boyfriend?
Right.
Okay. What's the longest period of time you've dated a guy? 2 months, 3 months, anything like that?
Like 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
I
Okay,
drop
damn.
people too quickly.
All right. And you said you drop people too quickly.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, I've been told that I let people go too easily just because they upset me and I just decide that they're not worth my time.
Do they
so
give you the ick?
They do.
They give you the ick?
They do.
So they're not worth your time.
No.
So you've said you've had quite a few talking stages. So more often than not, are you the one who's kind of pumping the brakes, like saying,
Oh, 100%.
100%?
Yeah.
Okay. Has a guy ever done it, or it's mostly you?
I feel like sometimes it's mutual. I don't
Mutual.
think I've been rejected yet.
Not yet.
Not
Okay,
that
no
way.
rejections.
But
All right.
a lot of the times it is just mutual fizzling out.
Okay. And are you just
So, you see that? I don't know if you see that. I don't know if you can actually see what's going on. So, notice she's younger. She's a younger chick. She's not bad looking, but she's definitely not gorgeous by any means. You get what I'm saying? It looks like the chick that's right beside her that already did the speaking, it looks like she's slightly a little bit older, but even she, who was in a marriage before, seems to be a little bit cuter than the one talking. But keep in mind, all too often nowadays, what's going on is these girls, I said girls, younger women, these girls get in a relationship literally just to have a little bit of honeymoon phase in the beginning, just to throw it away. They get bored so fast. They're not even in it to keep it. They just literally just playing around. It is no different from a fuck boy. That's all it is. These girls nowadays they're cool with being fuck boys. And they're cool with people knowing that they're just fuck boys. The longest relationship she had was just a few weeks, and she turns it off. Do you know what that's going to do for her? Man, her fucking pair bonding skills is going to be trash in the next 2 to 5 years. Trash. Trash. She's not gonna know how to keep a relationship. She's not gonna know what it takes to keep a relationship. She's every time that there's gonna be any issue in a relationship, she's gonna be the one to cut ties and go, just on the strength of it's what she's used to. Bet money. I'd be willing to bet money.
Desirous though of like a long-term relationship, or are you kind of okay with the?
I'm okay with both. I mean, I
Okay.
think having a boyfriend is great, but I also know that I'm a very picky person.
Very picky.
So it's,
What are some of the things that lead you to get you get the ick or make you want to pump the brakes? Is there a pattern of behavior that you're seeing among the men, or how do you pinpoint it?
I don't know. I feel like a lot of it sounds very vague, but a lot of times it's just a vibe of how good and genuine a person is. So if I see that they're even
vibe.
like slightly like, oh, they're either a little too aggressive or they're, I don't know, they can be weird or mean or I don't know. I'm very quick to just, I don't give people the benefit of the doubt, which I know is not the best option, but
How do you typically meet the guys that you've been in a talking stage with? Dating apps, in person?
no, not dating apps.
Never,
but
never been on a dating app?
No.
Okay.
But I guess just meeting in person, classes, interacting with.
Do you party?
people.
Go to parties at all?
Sometimes, yeah.
Are you guys are friends?
Yeah, we're
Housemates?
roommates.
Are you guys in a sorority?
No.
No. Okay. So how often will you go out and party? Like Thursday, Friday, Saturday type thing?
Just Fridays, sometimes Saturdays.
Sometimes Saturdays.
Yeah.
Okay. And you'll meet guys out when you're partying, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's the most, but they also are not very consistent because
The
I feel like those
guys.
guys, they'll talk to you for the night and that's it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Talk to them for the night and then they're done with them. But keep in mind, you're probably talking about fuck boys with fuck boys. You get what I'm saying? These girls can be fuck boys too. Keep that in mind. You know what I mean? I guarantee that these guys aren't consistent just because they understand that these women aren't consistent. They know who they running into. Us guys, we know when these bras is play toys and freaks. We know. We can almost feel it. You know what I mean? All it takes is for us to be around you long enough to see how you interact with other women and other dudes. We know. If you're a play toy, we definitely gonna treat you like one. And I guarantee these younger dudes, especially, yeah, they ain't ready for no relationship. College, in school, yeah, these boys don't want nothing serious, and they're seeing that they ain't about shit. So it's easy just to, as my dad would say, fuck them and feed them pork and beans.
So the longest was 3 weeks. Have you? Trying to think how to frame this question. I'll come back to you in a sec.
Okay.
What about you?
I'm in a similar boat. I've never been in a defined relationship. I've had sort of a situationship that only lasted probably a month and a half, and then I
So
also
6 weeks.
dropped him.
You dropped him the 6
Yeah.
weeks. So you're both sophomores at UCSB, is that
Yes.
correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And never have you had a boyfriend ever, or no boyfriends?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel like it's hard here at UCSB? Like, do you feel like guys don't really want that? College boys, they don't want it?
Definitely.
They just want to
Yeah.
hook up, right?
Definitely.
But what about you? Would you be desirous of having a long-term relationship?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's just hard to find someone who.
Yeah. If you found a guy who was like really interested in that, in commitment, would you would be down too, or you're kind of on the fence
It
even
really,
then?
I think it really depends on who they are as a person, and because like the situationship that I was in, he wanted to date long term.
Oh, so you didn't want?
I didn't want to.
Why is that?
I think it was just I could tell that we were different people and we had different sort of lifestyles and personalities, and it was fun to hang out, but it wasn't something I wanted to like commit to long term.
Yeah. I would be willing to bet money that her little friend sitting beside her had a lot to do with it, because clearly that little friend beside her, she don't want no boyfriend. She don't want to be nothing close to a boyfriend. She like to pump him and dump him. You get what I'm saying? Or them to pump her and dump her. Yeah, you know what it is. So yeah, if that's what it is, Why would she want her friend to get in a relationship? Because then her friend ain't gonna want to do all those crazy and weird things with her. She ain't gonna be able to go out with her. They ain't gonna be able to hang out no more if she get a boyfriend. So clearly, I guarantee that part of what she got going on because she would like to have a relationship, it ain't gonna happen because her friend. I guarantee that friend is putting stuff in her head, talking those crazy words and saying all that stupid shit. I guarantee it has a lot to do with that. You know what I mean? I would be willing to bet money.
How were you different?
Well, I feel like he was a lot more formal and proper, and he liked to kind of dress up and go on the fancier dates, and he couldn't really see himself just like hiking or I don't know, just hanging out. Even the thought of wearing sweatpants in public to him was like, whoa.
This guy sounds like a catch. What's going on? He dresses nice.
Like textbook, he sounds like a really cool.
No, you don't.
was
You don't.
very awful.
You didn't like him. Why is that? Why do you say he was awful?
He was just very possessive and very, yes,
Yeah.
he had traditional views, but it was very more like, no, you are mine. Like,
How
it
was?
was
Hold up. So you see this? This is the friend talking. This is the friend talking on her friend's man. You understand what I'm saying? This is that shit. This is why I say, when a woman, ladies, when y'all have a relationship, keep y'all single friends away from y'all's relationship, because all it takes is a bitch like this, a bitch like this. I ain't calling her a bitch. I'm saying all it takes is a bitch like this to ruin your whole relationship. Why? Because she don't care about your relationship. She cares about what she got going on, and she will wreck your shit. So you got to understand, if she don't care about a relationship in her own possession, she definitely ain't gonna care about yours. Keep her. She shouldn't even be saying nothing about her friend's relationship, talking about he's a little bit possessive and all this. If she ain't saying that, then why are you saying that? And if her friend is saying that about her relationship, then she fucked that up. She shouldn't have been saying that to her friend. Clearly, she should have been having those conversations with her friend, but that's neither here nor there. That's neither here nor there. But again, the one in the yellow sitting here, I guarantee she don't like this situation. So she's willing to do whatever it takes to split this relationship so she can have her friend back. I'd be willing to bet that. You know what I mean? Man, these women do. Yeah.
it's just,
When you
That's
say
he was
true.
gross.
He didn't like that I liked to party.
okay, so when you say possessive, is that what you mean? He wanted to spend, like when you wanted to go out on a Friday, he would rather you stay in with him.
Yeah, he was always like, "Oh, I'm not going to stop you from going out, but I would prefer if you didn't."
Okay.
And I can't even be mad about that. I can't even be mad about that, because that's exactly how I would do it. You know what I mean? If I had a girlfriend, I wouldn't mind if she goes out, but I got limitations. I'm not going to be with a chick that needs to go out every damn day or every couple of days or every weekend. If you need to go out every single weekend, that tells me a lot about you. You get what I'm saying? But before I get to the dating stage, before I make it to stage 2, stage 3 of the dating phase, I'm going to know whether or not this is the type of person you are, because I'm asking questions. I'm definitely asking questions. As soon as I figure out that you're a party animal, that you like to party, you like to go out and drink, yeah, no, I'm good. Just because I can't deal with a woman who moves like that. It tells me that you like to socialize. Well, typically, men or women who like to socialize tend to get a little bit flirty. Nothing wrong with being flirty, but what comes with the territory? Somebody fucking. Come on now. You know what I mean? There's lots of things that comes with lots of things, and you got to understand the animal that you're dealing with comes with baggage. And if that's the type of animal that you like, you got to understand the baggage that comes with it. And if that's what you like, yo, by all means, do you. But when some shit falls down, somebody should have warned you, or you should have known better.
So
That you're making him sound so much nicer than he actually.
Okay, well, here, why don't you tell us
talking again.
Okay.
the extent of it? Go ahead.
Okay, I feel like he wasn't. Okay, how do I word this? Just a lot of the comments that he made were very misogynistic and very like not okay. I think the
Give me some examples. Give me some examples here. Yeah, you're allowed.
Just like, oh, I don't want anybody else to see your body. Like, just that. But it's,
anything else?
I understand that. Like, obviously, if you're in a relationship, I get that. But just the way that it was said, I feel like is.
Yeah.
How did he say
I agree.
it?
Even when he would describe, I think that's another thing.
This guy watches the podcast.
He would describe people who I would put myself in the same category as, like girls who party or wear like revealing clothes kind of to party, or even just like crop tops. And he would word it in a way that's like, oh, well, I don't like when people dress like a slut. But it's like, I've worn more revealing things than that girl, you know? So
he didn't want you going out partying. He wanted you to dress modestly.
yeah.
And you mentioned he was being misogynistic. Were there any other things that you considered misogynistic?
I'm trying to think.
I can't think.
Yeah, see, I want to see if the actual girlfriend was going to mention the fact that he was being misogynistic. That's what I want to know. Because if she doesn't call him misogynistic, but the friend was, yeah, man, you got to get rid of, you keep this bitch out your relationship. Keep this bitch away from your man, because she's never going to allow you to get a man and keep a man. Never. Because she don't, I would like to say she don't like men, but I can't say that. She probably does like men. I'm talking about the chick in the yellow. Maybe she does like men. She just don't like men long term, because there's something there. I want to say there's a tweak there, but let's get off of that. Let me let her talk.
Think of any specific examples.
Just so I make sure we're talking about the same thing, just how do you define misogyny?
Well, he for sure thinks that men are better than women.
But when you say he for sure thinks that,
Yes.
did he say that?
Not directly.
So indirectly, how did he communicate that?
Just in like I think especially when talking to her, she was like, it's more like he didn't want her to have a career. He didn't want her to.
No,
like,
he definitely, even talking about the future, he was very fast with like talking about the future and, oh, would you want children? Would you whatever? And
Okay. All right. Now I got to say something about. If you know what the word misogyny means, then you would understand that everything she just said had nothing to do with the damn word misogyny. Nothing at all to do with the word misogyny. It drives me crazy when I hear people talk about misogyny and they can't even use the word right in a sentence. They can't even use it right in a conversation. It's goofy. The man, in order to call this man misogynistic, he would have had to show signs of hating women. First off, he's in a relationship with your ass. If he's in a relationship with a woman, your ass, how can you say he hates women? Misogynistic means hatred or contempt for women. If he's in a relationship, clearly he don't hate women. If he wants you to do better, if he wants you to be better, he's clearly not hating women. What makes him misogynistic? Let me get off of that. Hear what she got to say.
even talking about working, he was like, well, would you want to still work if you had children? Because I personally would want you to stay at home and.
Okay.
This guy's my hero. Like, I mean, everything that he's saying sounds awesome. I don't actually understand what the problem is. Like, he sounds.
Yeah, exactly. The dude sounds like a good dude. Here's my thing on ladies. Hear me out. My thing on my woman working is not to suppress my woman. I don't want my woman having to deal with a boss who treats her like shit. If that guy is possessive, if her boss is possessive, if her boss treats his employees like shit, the last thing I want is him treating my woman like shit. The last thing I want is my woman having to deal with some asshole of a boss because he's a dickhead. I don't want that. I don't want that. I may be able to deal with a boss who's an asshole. You get what I'm saying? But I am supposed to be my woman's hero. I'm supposed to be the mountain that her wave of emotions crashes into. You get what I'm saying? I don't want her to have to deal with some fucktard who just had a bad day and he's taking it out on all his employees. I don't want my woman to have to deal with that. So if she had her own business, I would be perfectly cool with it. If my woman did not have a boss, I don't care if she worked from home on a computer and she ran her own business. I don't care if that's what it was, but she didn't have somebody over her telling her what to do, putting her in a position to be suspended, be fired, and getting written up. If she didn't have to deal with that, I would be perfectly fine with it. But for her to have a boss that she has to report to and have to deal with somebody else's bullshit, I don't want my woman to have to go through that. So I understand what Brian and I forget his name. I like dude right here too. But yeah, for what they talking about, I agree with them wholeheartedly.
It's great.
Yeah, I think.
I think when you put it down, when you write it down and you say it out loud, it sounds, yes, traditional, but I do think it is the way that people say it and the intentions behind it.
Okay.
But,
And so,
Intentions.
wait, you said that he thinks, although he didn't say the words, you said that he thinks that men are better than women.
Oh, for sure.
But how do you know
It was
that?
also a lot of like the way we would
whoops.
communicate. It was very much him telling us or telling me like what we're gonna do, or like, oh, when am I gonna see you, or I'll pick you up. And it was never like, oh, like what time do you want to meet? It was just, I'm picking you up at 7.
Okay.
And you,
My
Hold up. So, do you know how many times, excuse me, you know how many times I've heard women say they don't like when a man asks them where and when and why. They don't like when men ask that. They like the man to come up with all the details. They like the man to come up with all the plans. They like the man to be assertive and more dominant. But the moment he says that, now it's a problem. So is the man supposed to tell you, hey, I'm going to pick you up at such and such time on Friday? Or do you want him to ask you, hey, so what time you want me to pick you up on Friday? Because from my understanding, the man who asks is a beta. The man who tells is the alpha. And y'all like the alpha until he's the alpha, and then you wish he treated you like a beta so you could take advantage. That's that manipulative bullshit. I don't like that. If that's how you think and feel, keep it moving.
I'm still waiting to hear a single bad quality here
Me too.
for this guy. I'm like
Me
I want
too.
to be on your side. I want to be with you on this and dislike this guy right alongside you, but he just sounds fucking awesome. Like in every conceivable, I haven't heard anything bad about him yet.
Wait, so you said he would want to, like, he wouldn't ask you, oh, does 6 p.m. work? He would say, I'm picking you up at 7. I see that. That was a trend like a couple months ago, maybe a year ago, of like women in their thing saying they want a guy to tell them, we're going here, I'm picking you up at this time. But you don't like that. You want the guy to consult with you.
I appreciate him like making the plans, but also I feel like he didn't consider if I wanted to be picked up at 7. So that type of way where it's like, or even if I would say, oh, I'm not sure because I have an essay to write that night, I'm not sure if I have time to meet you, it would kind of, he would just for me.
Then just be like, I would love to, but I can't. I got this and that and this or that going on. That's it. He'd be like, oh, okay, no problem. I would bet money.
He'd be like, okay, well, what time does your class end? Like, oh no, you can do it. And it was, he didn't consider what I wanted to do. And yeah.
Okay, so really quick though, going back to what you said, I know you said he's a misogynist. Just, I don't know if you provide an answer on this. Just how do you define misogyny, just so I know we're talking about the same thing?
I think it's just in my...
I think that was a question for her.
Okay. Okay, now I'm being put on the spot. Well, I feel like if there's a power balance that you believe is correct between men and women, I think that's the biggest.
Wait, can you clarify?
That is not what the fuck misogynistic means. Not even close. Not even close. And that's the reason I explain that word so much in my podcasts and my videos, because it drives me nuts to hear a woman use that term and don't know what it means. I hope Brian asked her what a misandrist is. I hope he asked her. I haven't watched this. This is my first time watching this with you. So, yeah, I really want to know how this goes.
Clarify what you mean there, a power balance or imbalance?
Power imbalance.
If you believe that there
That is correct. if you're okay with that. And if you're...
Okay. So you don't believe in any sort of gender expectations at all when it comes to dating?
I think that there are some expectations, but
But you reject them? Or do you... No, go ahead. Actually, go ahead.
No, there are definitely expectations. I mean, but I don't think it's gender specific. It's just to be respectful as a person.
Yeah, sure.
And
did we get a definition, though, on the misogyny thing? Because people have different definitions for that, so I just want to make sure that we're talking about the same thing.
well,
I feel like it's hard to define.
it's hard to specifically
explicitly.
define because I feel like there are a lot
No,
of
it's not.
examples. So just because I feel like you don't have to be a misogynist by just like, oh, I hate women. Like, it's not that. There are also a lot of
Yes, it is.
small.
Like a microaggression?
Oh, I wouldn't call it microaggression,
Okay.
but slightly, yeah.
So what are
I
some...
don't really understand though. How are you guys calling people misogynists but can't tell us what that is?
Do you mind if I
Yeah, please
add?
do.
I feel like when I would call someone a misogynist, it's when I feel that they value women less than men, and it's more like what you say matters less because you're...
Shut up, bitch!
Wait, why is it... The trigger's off. I'll just read it. Chick with a perfect boyfriend. Sounds like you broke up with the wrong person. Spiteful, jealous, feminazi friend. Whoa, okay, be nice, Nickelodeon. Yeah, I know, I'm just going to read it. Sitting next to you is who you need to... Okay, all right. I'll know... The Streamlabs triggers are all fucked up. I'm going to fix that here in just a sec, boys. Continue on with your statement. Go ahead.
What was I saying?
I see.
You were saying that when you define misogyny, you just mean it that it's when men think that they're better than women, essentially.
Yeah, and I think when they feel that they can disrespect women, and
So then, would you say that a misandrist would be the same thing, just the opposite? Women who feel like they're better than men, they would be misandrists. They would be misogynist in reverse.
I think if they're using it as because they are a man, then yes.
See, he did that wrong. That's all right, though. It's all right. I wish he would have asked, so what is a misandrist? I wish he would have asked that. That's neither here nor there, though. Let's stay in it.
Okay.
All right. It's interesting, though, the longest relationship you've had, you dated them for 6 weeks, you dated misogynist. By your definition, anyways.
Yeah.
How early on did you determine that he was, did you assess that he was a so-called misogynist?
I think in the beginning it was little like comments he would make,
Yeah.
and then he would correct himself afterwards, like, oh, I'm not a misogynist, but da-na-na. And it was like...
Wait, what would he say?
Okay.
What would he say?
I don't remember what he said.
I'm not a racist, but... If somebody ever says I'm not a racist, but they're about to say
Right.
some racist
No.
shit.
I forgot what he said, because his roommate even pointed it out too.
His roommate pointed out.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh, I think it was about making his bed. And
He
was
wanted
like,
you to make his bed?
No, I was like pulling the covers of it, and I fixed it after he fixed it, and he was like, of course you'd be better than me, you're a woman. And I was like, okay. And his roommate was like, that's misogynistic of you.
Hold up. that's misogynistic? I don't think that's misogynistic. I don't think that's misogynistic. I could be wrong. To whomever may be listening, I could be wrong. But in my opinion, there are some things that I think a woman would be a lot better at than men. There's some things that I think men would be a lot better at than women. For example, when it came to jacking up a car, putting a jack stand in the correct place and taking the tire off and putting it back on without scratching up the rim, I think a man would be able to do that. A man who knows his shit would be able to handle that better than a woman. On the flip side, a woman who's a wife before she meets her husband, I think a woman would be able to handle some of the household things better than a man. Wouldn't that be part of cleaning, making up a bed? Do you know how many men I know that don't know how to fucking properly make up a bed? Hell, I didn't know how to properly make a bed until I was in my 20s. Properly make a bed till I was in my 20s. So I would bet money that she's probably better at him than making a bed. But does that make me misogynistic? Yeah, I think not.
Is this like in the dorm room or something?
No, his bedroom.
Oh, is it like a double or something?
Yeah.
College. Okay. Damn. All right. Good times.
And at first I thought he was just being like silly, and then I realized that he actually wholeheartedly believed that.
We got to get this guy on the show. He sounds like a legend. He probably watches the show. All right. Wait, I wanted to come back.
I just didn't hear really anything bad this guy did, honestly. Like I was even thinking, because you were saying that when he would assert, you know, I'm going to pick you up at 7, right? And he wouldn't really take into consideration the fact that, well, maybe your schedule conflicted or something like this, right? It's kind of a jerk thing to do, but here's the thing. Have you ever been in a situation where a guy has asked you where you want to go for dinner, and you do the, I don't know. You know, just kind of anything, that kind of thing. Have you ever been in that situation? Come on, tell me the truth.
Be honest.
Can you decide what to have for dinner?
I feel like my go-to is I give them a few options, like, oh, I feel I'm in the mood for this or this. Like, what would you prefer? Rather than, oh, I don't know, choose something for me.
Yeah. So.
But that's exactly what I'm saying. If you say to him, what would you prefer? That's exactly what he just did. If he tells you, we're going to go do this, I'm going to take you to go do this, all you got to say is, can we do something different? Because I'm not really feeling that. And just like that, I bet money he probably said, oh, okay, no problem. We can do that. But to want to say something, and then when he gives you the option and you say, I don't know, whatever you prefer. Excuse me. Are you only combating what he says because you want the option to be able to say something? Is that what it is? I don't know.
No, I mean, but you've never been in a situation where the guy has said, hey, where do you want to go eat? And you do the whole like, oh, you pick?
Honestly, no.
Never?
Yeah. I mean, probably, but it's never been an annoying, because I even do that with my friends. When it's like, oh, where do you want to go? Sometimes there's that little bit of, I don't know. But we figured it out.
Yeah, well, I mean, but you can imagine
Big
that.
Lady Outie Disrespecter donated $200.
What?
Brian, you a weirdo for liking women with Arby's roast beef. Roast is simp. Fake Virgin Brie, you are the reason why there are instructions on shampoo bottles. Ladies, deal breaker if a guy won't go down.
We'll get right back to the... actually, I'll save that question for later. Andrew, sorry, you were saying?
Yeah, I was just saying, you can imagine, though, that, and I'm sure you've seen this yourself with your friends, that a question as simple as where would you like to go have dinner? Women are often very indecisive about that. Yeah, I don't know. Well, you pick, that kind of thing. I mean, surely you're familiar with this phenomenon, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so I mean, isn't one good way to avoid that phenomenon to just say, hey, be ready at 8 and I'm just going to pick you up and we're going to go to X restaurant? Isn't that preferable to a lot of women, don't you think?
I don't think there's a problem with that, like the decisiveness. Like, I don't mind that, but I think what got me was the fact that he didn't even want to check if that was okay with me.
Well, had you guys had a plan to meet up that day?
No.
So he just randomly texted you,
Well,
no plan?
We hadn't planned, but it was like, oh, what are you doing on Sunday? Or are you free Sunday? And it was like, okay, I don't think there was a problem with that, but just in general, when we would make plans, it felt very much, you told me that your class is...
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. It's getting a little bit long. We are at 40-minute mark. I was not expecting it to go that long. They've been talking, and so have I. But anyway, I seriously think she just doesn't like the dude. I think that's all it was. She didn't like him. Not enough for her to stay in tune and stay focused with what he got going on. I don't think she liked him enough, which tends to be a lot of what happens. It's almost as if when a girl really likes a man, whatever he decides, whatever he wants, she wants to do it. She wants to be there. If he wanted to drive to the moon, and she'd be like, I just want to be with you. You get what I'm saying? When she really likes him, that's what I really think. But when she doesn't really like him, she comes up with reasons to not be with him, to not be around him, to do other things. She comes up with little reasons. I'm not saying it doesn't work both ways. I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about her. So I really think that she just didn't like him, hence why she broke up with him. But I don't know. Tell me what you think. Yeah. First time doing like a kind of a, I don't know, review type video. But tell me what you think in the comments. Until next time, have a good night.
They are so full of the cap, man. I can't take it, need to break it if they